Welcome back to No Wait Nichols, man. My content's for educational purposes only. Can't stress enough you guys do your own research. Praise my content, throw any errors you find in the comments. None of us have been alive long enough to know all that transpired in the past, and none of us can live long enough to know all there is to learn. Yo, stay focused, man. Stay focused on your energy, your business, whatever you got going on. Don't worry about what nobody else doing, saying, thinking, projecting, feeling. Ain't none of your business. Understand that everybody is not going to rock with you in an authentic and genuine way or on that level. And you got to be all right with that. You know, if I was given $1 for every time I detected that somebody that acted as if they fucked with me or really rocked with me, that they didn't actually rock with me the way that they presented themselves to, I wouldn't be working. That's for sure. So, understand, man, that, everybody's not going to be in support of you. Everybody's not going to genuinely be happy for your wins, your accomplishments, your evolution, your elevation, the positive steps you make in a forward direction. Everybody's not going to be happy for you, man. But see, when you focused externally, then that type of shit lives rent-free in your head. The task for those of us who have not gotten past that is to eradicate anyone from living rent-free in your head. The plot is to, visualize where you want yourself to be, the kind of life you see yourself living, strategize a plan to execute that will take you from where you're at to what you envision yourself doing, how you envision yourself living. It's not, to be overly preoccupied with what people think, say, feel, or the things that they try to project on you. Because the fact is, everybody's not all right with themselves. It's a fact. Everybody's not all right with themselves. All you got to do is take a look around. You know what I mean? We're all individuals, yet majority of people is doing everything everybody else is doing. Or, whether that be, how they choose to spend their time, for the women, how they choose to make themselves up, spend all this money on changing themselves, all of those are indicative of, certain insecurities and a less than love for self, a less than, what do you call that? I say it all the time. Unconditional love for self. Everybody doesn't have that, man. Everybody doesn't wake up every day and choose to be happy, choose to have a good day, choose to be in high spirits. Some people, again, from what I've already previously mentioned, have other people and what other people are doing living rent-free in their mind, holding disdain toward another individual or having another individual in a competition that they don't know a goddamn thing about. Or, for those who are power struck, that have certain positions of authority, you know, that get off on trying to, you know, hold individuals back. You know, these are the weak individuals that I'm speaking about right now. You know, because that type of shit is weak. You know, strong individuals, they don't even entertain that kind of shit. They don't even entertain them kind of thoughts because they're too busy powering their moves, playing chess with their life. You understand? What another person does is of no significance to these individuals that I'm talking about. You know, so shout out to you if you're one of those individuals. But to the other individuals that I've, you know, described on this short video, man, you know, I understand, you know, that everybody doesn't and isn't fortunate enough to come across the actual science of healing, you know, because we all suffer through traumas in our life, you know, and some of us, you know, fail to mature in a lot of different ways, you know. A lot of us look the part, but the actions and deeds and decisions that we either exhibit or make tell their own story. You know, so when you see or detect, that you have a hater in your midst, or you got a frenemy, an energy vampire, you know, an energy harvesting individual, you know, that just make you feel drained after you deal with them. It don't even have to be sexual in nature. You know, it could just be energetic when you interact with this type of individual. You know, the thing is, man, you know, you gotta, when you notice that, gracefully, man, just move on without them. You understand? And for those that fit that mold, if you one of these haters, if you one of these power-struck suckers, you dig what I'm saying? Whoever you may be, but if you're exhibiting these weak, emotionally based behaviors, listen, man, you need to deal with whatever it is that causes you to exhibit these kinds of behaviors, man. You know, I was fortunate enough to go to the KEY program twice during my incarceration years. And it taught me how to, you know, process feelings and emotions. You know, then when I went for my pardon, I had to get a psychological evaluation. That also taught me about myself. Then on top of that, I've been an avid reader and seeker of knowledge for a number of years. And one of the topics that I, you know, read up on and studied about was psychology. You know, I don't profess to be nothing that I'm not, but I understand the psychology of people. You know, and to get to the point of why I'm saying all this is, man, if you hurting, man, be real with yourself. You know, accept the fact that you still hurting behind something that you left unresolved and compartmentalized and shifted to the side and left undealt with within yourself. If something somebody else is doing, again, this is not the first time I've said this. If something somebody else does triggers you and they're not even doing anything to you, they're not even talking to you, minimal interactions with you, then that's a sign that you have some shit that within yourself you need to deal with. Had a testicular fortitude or the estrogenic fortitude to deal with it. You know? And stop fucking with people that ain't doing nothing to you, man. You know? Because, popular, you know, contrary to popular opinion and belief, man, a lot of people, you know, that resemble what I've described. When it comes down to the come down and it gets to a point where something has to happen, these more often than not, these individuals don't want no real smoke. So, you know, why provoke it? You know, why provoke it? You know, focus. You know, keep the focus on yourself. You know, because you know, and then for those who are a victim of this type of treatment, you got to understand that, man, some people are really hurting out here, man. Some people are really like undeveloped emotionally, mentally, psychologically. You know, everybody hasn't worked on themselves and developed the 4 parts of the brain. You know, a lot of people don't even focus on themselves. They focused on everything and everybody else. You know, sad as it might sound, you got people that's like that out here, man. You know, or, you know, they you know, as long as they got the latest fashion, you know, nice things, you know, that's what they, you know, base their, you know, characters around, you know. You know, it's you know, a lot of superficialities, you know, that come with these kinds of individuals, man. So, but that's also none of your business. You know, I look at it as none of my business. It's just that when I notice that somebody really is disingenuous, you know, what good would it do for me to expose that? You know, I see what it is, I recognize it, I deal with it, you know, even if it has nothing to do with me saying anything to the individual, you know. But understand, man, everybody's not oblivious, man. Everybody's not oblivious, man. You know, if you don't fuck with somebody, just don't fuck with them at all. Be man or woman enough to just do that, you know. And if you don't fuck with an individual, man, you know, the right thing to do is to do just what I said. Leave the individual alone. You know, if they not fucking with you, don't fuck with them. And if you choose to do something that you call yourself trying to do something to thwart their progress or whatever, man, understand, man, universal law is not man's law. Universal, I'm going to say it again so y'all can, you know, mentally ingest this. Universal law is not man's law. You can have 10 to 100 co-conspirators that may be assisting you in doing some, you know, some low vibrational negative shit to another individual. But if that individual is on the right side of karma and the right side of righteousness, that man or that woman don't fuck with nobody. That man or that woman is all about handling their personal business, and they don't project, you know, their anger or their hostility or their, you know, inefficiencies of self onto others, or they don't look at your confidence as their insecurity. You know, you need to understand, man, whatever energy you put out there, karma don't lose addresses. And the address I'm speaking of is where you live, within your skin. Because that's where you live. If you didn't know that, if the preacher ain't never tell you that, or the imam ain't never told you that, that's where you live. Understand that. You was a soul before you was ever inhabited within you know, all this. You was a soul prior to any of that. And when you transition to what we refer to and look upon as death, what's within you, the real you, transitions and transfers on. You understand? See, I'm not even going to get into it because that would take, you know, me to a different subject matter and out of the context of this particular video. However, if you, like I said, if you're one of the individuals that is subjugated to this type of treatment, man, just keep doing you, because regardless of what's being stated or what may have been stated or what's being, what rumors are being circulated or whatever the case, man, time gonna tell the real truth. You ain't gotta say a motherfucking thing. You ain't gotta defend or dignify that bullshit that whomever it is may be saying with a response. You ain't got to, man. The thing is, be real too, and with yourself, and walk the dogs you need to walk to get you where you need to be. Ain't near one of us people that live, eat, bleed, sleep, and shit strong enough to stop you when you moving in the right energy. You do your best to assist people, whenever, it's not going to hurt you to do it, because no candle loses its flame by lighting another. You see what I'm saying? So if you're in a position to, help an individual, whether it be informational, or just, doing something to make an individual smile, because you don't know what other people go through when you're not in their presence, Little shit like that is blessings attached to that, So, and don't worry about who don't like you, man, who don't really rock with you, man. That's why you're supposed to handle your business. That way you got you. You know what I mean? If you have a problem with budgeting money, then you need to work on that. If you find that money burns a hole in your pocket, you need to definitely address that, man. So if you're in a position to make some money, you need to learn how to hold on to some money. You need to learn how to live within your means, because that old saying, trying to keep up with the Joneses, you don't know what the Joneses may be doing out of your presence to maintain the things that they maintain, whatever it may be. But beyond that, your journey is for you. Theirs is for them. You can't, be worried about what somebody else doing or what somebody else got. If it's something that you desire to have, put your leg work in. Strap your boots up, put your hard hat on, get your grind on, and go get whatever it is that you want. Because every time you wake up, you ain't got nothing but opportunity, man. It's no reason, no need, no relevance for somebody to, be worried about what the next individual doing. It definitely ain't no need for no hate, envy, or jealousy. And all that shit is confused admiration. Or they see something in you that they don't like because they don't embody it. And they wish they did, or they wish they could embody it. It may just be the fact that you're in a positive spirit, and you upbeat, and it's evident that you in good spirits, and you happy with yourself, with your life, however it may look. That in and of itself can piss certain individuals off. What the fuck he always happy for? What the fuck she smiling for? I ain't got nothing to smile about. That type of shit. It's people out here like that, man. Know that. Understand that. Recognize that. And steer clear of these type of individuals, man. That's all you got to do, man. Because a lot of people, man, believe it or not, a lot of people are scared to death of looking themselves in that mirror and dealing with their own demons and their own bullshit. Because it's easier to stay toxic. It's easier to fall victim to your lust desires and your appetites. It's much easier to point the finger at somebody else than to look yourself in the mirror and deal with your own shit and be just as critical while doing so. Everybody ain't got the heart to do that, because it take heart. Again, like I've said in other videos, it take more heart to do that than it do to pull the trigger on a motherfucker. So, if anything, man, have some empathy for an individual that you see is always mad, always got a problem with everything and everybody, because that means that they not whole, man. They got voids to fill. And if they're continually in that energy, then they evidently don't know how to fill that void, you know? So, it's the response ain't to get mad because you realize or recognize or you detect hate or a little envy or jealousy, whatever the case. It don't have to be all of them. It could just be one of them. But, don't give away your power by investing your energy in what somebody else is doing on an insignificant level. That's the whole part of this message, man. Stay focused. Do what you got to do for you, because what you eat don't make nobody shit and vice versa. And you don't gotta like me, I like myself. That's the energy you need to handle. When you notice that, okay, you mad, you want to argue. Don't get that shit your energy, man. Because as soon as you play into that, then you've allowed your vibration to lower, to drop. Because understand, matching energy is not always beneficial or advantageous to you, especially if you vibing high and somebody come with some low vibrational shit. In order for you to match their energy, you got to drop in vibration. And that's and that message is for those who are understanding of how energy works, And for those that don't, if you got to look down or look back to address some bullshit, your energy is best exerted somewhere else. Don't stop, slow down, look back, or look down for nothing. You dig? The twist is you gotta, create circumstances that somebody has to rise up to your level, especially if you've evolved. And even when somebody is receptive to a dialogue, or they may bring something up to you, man, try to be as encouraging as you can, especially if you've been through what it is that they telling you that they going through, man. And if you've made it through those type of situations, be empathetic, man. And understand who your audience is, and find the most crafty way to try to get whatever message it is that you're giving to the individual to get through to them in a way that they can clearly understand it. Because it just may be the time you take to talk to somebody, especially if they reach out to you. Because I've been in that situation before. A lot of people don't know, but it's an individual, man, that was well loved in the penitentiaries and on the streets. He's no longer with us. Stand-up guy, my man. And I missed a call from him, and that very next week, the police killed him. Down the way. You know what I mean? And those who, can pick up on what I'm saying, they know exactly who the individual was. May he rest in peace. And that is why I say the shit I say, man, because I know without doubt of a contradiction, based on the time me and that individual did with each other, he was reaching out, because he was in need based on where he was at. And the way I've been, I'm assuming that he felt like, I could bring him, some type of resolution, or at least help him to look at things from a different set of lenses, when instead it went bad. Now, am I saying that had I caught that call, he would still be here? I can't definitively say that. But had I gotten that call and found that he was in a distressful situation, I would have done my best, to try to, give him a different set of lenses to view his situation in, and help any way that I could, man, because mental health, man. People, man, and before I dismount off this video, man, I don't want it to go past 30 minutes because it's not meant to be a long video. But, mental health, man, and this is for anybody that bleed, eat, sleep, and shit. It doesn't mean that it's something wrong with you, man. It doesn't mean that you're weak. It doesn't mean that you're deficient, because contrary to popular belief and opinion, man, when you shed tears, that's an emotional release. It's another way for you to put that baggage down and let that shit that you holding on to and been holding on to probably for years to leave your essence, and sometimes just talking about it to somebody that is unbiased, that's not going to judge you, that's not going to run and tell that, somebody that's really going to allow what you say in confidence to live and die there between you and the other individual. You know what I mean? That's on some real type friendship shit, and that's a word that's lightly thrown around now too. You know what I mean? I don't want to veer too far off, man, but the key is, like I said, man, stay focused, and if you don't have nobody around you that you can trust to confide in, man, for those of us that are spiritual, it's other ways that you can do things, those of us that know about the unseen realms and the unseen deep, all of that. It ain't for everybody. You ain't got to believe in it. You don't have to accept it, because it ain't for everybody. Some of us are meant to follow, or, some of us, actually are okay following, those who have shown that they do not have our best interests at heart. Some of us are all right following their customs and ways at the expense of our own, and that's cool too. Everybody got to live their own life, man. It's not going to make me feel one way or another. It shouldn't make nobody else feel one way or another the way I decide to live, because you was born by yourself, you're going to go out the same way, If there is a judgment, for those that may not believe that, you get judged after living this life, you know what I mean? Nobody else is going to be able to be there to advocate for you, man. You only going to be able to deal with what you decided to do and the way you lived your life. So, understand that, you know what I mean? And do what you need to do for you. So with that being stated, man, hopefully something I said was able to resonate with somebody and or help somebody see things from a different point of view. I've experienced a lot of things in my life thus far. And, whether or not other people could have walked through it the way I did is irrelevant. But I have been through a whole lot of things. And, those that know me on a personal note, they know this, and this is the reason why I have this channel. Not just to share information, but, like it says in the description, man, everybody don't have somebody in their life that, is going to, give them the real, based off the experiences and the mistakes that they've made and had in their life, with all the best intentions as a prerequisite to whatever message or video that they put out, so, hopefully somebody was able to benefit from this, other than that, y'all stay up, stay encouraged, stay motivated, stay sucker free, man. And when I say sucker free, it's not a person that I'm talking about, it's the behaviors that they exhibit, because everybody is not going to be at their best at all times. Everybody doesn't wake up at the same times. Everybody doesn't mature at the same time. So you got to remember, you didn't always think the way you do today. None of us did. So don't be judgmental. Don't be too overly judgmental. So with that being said, y'all be easy. I'm gone.